Zazie Beetz and Joker 2 first. That didn't sound right. We'll do Zazie Beetz. Pals, we've said I wanted this movie to do good. I am happy. Yeah, I mean, it's just this is what Leach is made for. He's made for those kind of movies. Slick operator, and actually Brad Pitt's stunt double, like 20 years ago. I didn't know that, but I found that out today watching the press junkets. Unfortunately for me, there are no morning shows available near me. I won't be able to watch it in theatres. The hostel I live in closes at 9 PM. That's a shame, man. But look, the beauty of modern day cinema now is that it does its stint and it's very quickly on demand. After that, it's not like the 6 months you had to wait back in my day. And I speak like I'm a 90-year-old man back in my day. But I did grow up in the 1990s. Kinda. Well, I did. There's no fucking doubt about it. I may misremember half of it, but I did grow up in the 1990s. Global Video. Blockbuster. You had to go and buy a fucking videotape to watch a movie. And it was like a year after it had been in the theatres. So, things have got better. They have. Don't listen to these people who hero worship the 1990s like it was some incredible point in history. I've been guilty of this myself. It was fucking shit. Let's be honest here. It was shit. Oh, there was no mobile phones. It was free. People didn't used to just look down at their hands all day long. Yeah, they fucking did. They read magazines. They read newspapers. They looked at their shoes. People were awkward in the 90s as well. They looked at Tamagotchis. That's what they did. It was just shitter versions of what we've got just now. Pals says, oh wow, I didn't know that. That's amazing. You are a brother. I am indeed, man. 2%. It's not a lot, to be fair, but look, it's my great-great-grandmother, and I will fucking grab it with full force and just go full on. As I said many times, I've got a brother from another mother from Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh. Used to regale me of India, of the street food, of his life growing up there, man. To be fair, he's not like some pauper, he's like a fairly well-off middle-class guy with a maid. But he regaled me of Hyderabad, so I've always had a love affair with India. I've always been interested in the country. It's just something about it. Really fucking exotic. It's just the complete opposite of Scotland. Everyone in the world thinks Scotland's exotic. It's great. They come for more than 2 weeks, they'll realise it is wet as fuck, it is windy, it is bitterly cold, and it is shit. So, don't believe the hype. Zazie Beetz though defends Joker 2. And its divisive musical approach. I'm still in, I mean, I don't know what the actual phases of denial are, of grief are. I think there's like denial, and then you've got acceptance or something like grief, acceptance, and then something else. I'm still very much in denial with this one. I have not really been an advocate of Joker 2. Not really something I was wanting. I thought the first movie was very, very fucking good. There was people out there who also changed their tune with Joker when it started getting Oscar buzz. Turned on Todd Phillips. Turned on the movie in general. Says it was a remake of Martin Scorsese. Like we've never had that before. And it was shit. It was declared poor. It was a shite movie. I was never one of those people. I thought it was a really interesting social commentary on modern day society. And how it really does... It leaves some people out in the cold. There's people who are not made for the modern world, who are shut, who are outcasted, like lepers. And I just thought he explored that really well. Did he explore it as well as Taxi Driver? Probably not. Did he explore it as well as the Kings of Comedy? Or the King of Comedy? Probably not. But he still explored it, and it was necessary in the 21st century for people who are too lazy to go back and watch Scorsese movies from 40 years ago. And he explored it well. He explored it so well, I think it should have been a standalone movie. I was never fully on board for a sequel to this movie. And to be honest with you, Joaquin Phoenix isn't an actor who does sequels. He's never been known for doing sequels. So I thought the concept of a sequel with Joaquin Phoenix as Joker was dead in the water. But it turns out he's actually interested. There was an image of him reading the script. Todd Phillips wants to remake it. They've cast Lady Gaga. I think that's confirmed now. And it is going to be a musical. And I don't know how to feel about that. I ain't going to lie. I mean, there was moments of Joker that were musical in their construction, their construct. but it wasn't a musical, man. How do you take one of the most notorious cerebral DC villains and build a musical around about him? We're going to find out, and let's pray it's good, because it's going to ruin Joker for a lot of people if it isn't. But Zazie Beetz is out full defensive mode and had this to say. Of course, yeah, she's trying to get cast. I'll speak about that in a moment. She's trying to get recast in the movie. Actors need to make money, and they're not going to cut their fucking nose off to spite their face. This is coming in from Screen Rant. While speaking with the Hollywood Reporter, I'm doing a dual monitor setup here. I look over here, you look at the tabs. I look through OBS to read. That's why I'm squinting, because there's a moonlight over there, a ring light, akin to what Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong seen when they stood in the moon for the first time. And I'm sure, I mean, they probably stood in the moon when the fucking sun was out of sight, but very, very bright. Coming in from Screen Rant, while speaking with the Hollywood Reporter to discuss Bullet Train, Zazie Beetz shared some thoughts on the in-development Joker. Gonna have to read this. Folie à deux. I briefly dabbled with French. Actually do quite like France as a country. Never was interested in learning Spanish. I was more of a German, Italian kind of guy. I dabble with French, but I cannot pronounce French. I just can't do it. That's probably butchered, but folie à deux. That's my best shot. And looking at the, I mean, this fucking double entendre, that's the way they speak, so it's got to be close. And looking at the film's musical approach, which has proven divisive amongst, or divisive, as some people might say, amongst audiences, Beetz defended the idea, praising Todd Phillips' creative approach to adapting the DC character. See what Beetz shared below. Well, I can, and I could have just read that, because you've just, yeah, it was unnecessary. I actually think it makes wonderful sense. Wow. I wasn't really surprised by that. I think you were the only person. Todd has always had a creative approach to the character. I love musicals, and I think of them as the characters are feeling and experiencing so much that they can only sing and dance about it, whether in sorrow or in joy. I'm partial to a good musical as well, Zazie, but it has its time and its place. I think of Seb, I think of whatever the Emma Stone character was in La La Land. That works. Moulin Rouge, that works. Les Miserables, I don't know how you fucking say it, I'm not French again. That works. Joker, we'll find out. And I can actually see that within myself as well, because singing and dancing is quite a cathartic experience for me. She's very well spoken. I like some of the words she's pulling out here. Cathartic's always a good one. I was going through a really, really difficult time at one point in my life. Don't we all? That's life. And I just started dancing and crying by myself. Well, that's one way to do it. And that was an expression that matched where I was at that moment. And so I can see Arthur, who's feeling and experiencing so much, dancing and singing about it. He's a Joker. So I think it makes sense to me. See, when you word it like that, you're actually probably right. He's the Joker. He's a bit of a Joker. He's a maverick. He's this eccentric character. And him dancing and singing probably isn't as out of a character as you would think it would be. Folie à deux. Is that how you say it? I don't know, man. Honestly. Yeah, that sounds weird, doesn't it? Joker. Folie à deux. I can't imagine Joker speaking French. It just doesn't seem like a very well wrote guy. He's cerebral and he's different in his thinking. He thinks out a beat with everybody else. That's kind of the whole point. He's ahead of the curve, but he's not a French speaker. Well, he doesn't have to be. But anyway, look, I digress, man. She's maybe right. Look, this may work. This may be interesting. It may take all of the good sort of musical moments that were probably standout moments. You think of them dancing down these stairs. That's one of the more memorable moments from Joker. Maybe the little shuffle he does after he kills Murray on the chat show. He does a little shuffle to the camera. These are the standout moments when the character kind of has an out-of-body moment. He leaves reality for a moment and starts doing crazy shit, and it seems to manifest in dancing. They are the best moments. Maybe they'll just harness that and put it on steroids and we'll get a full-on musical experience. I'll tell you one thing though, Lady Gaga is definitely turned into a good actor. She is becoming more and more adept at it as time goes on. She's kind of showing up the likes of Dwayne Johnson, who's been trying his hand at it for over a decade and not really improving as quickly as Lady Gaga has over what, 5, 6, 7 years, maybe not even that. So she's definitely an interesting one. She can certainly sing, so she's bringing her singing voice in. She's a performer, you can't deny her that. She can definitely perform on stage. She has big personality, big presence. She will hold her own. I can imagine her as Harley Quinn, and it's something I'm actually intrigued to see. It's just Joaquin, he's a worry for me. Joaquin is a worry. He's a fantastic actor. He does drama really well. He does dark human condition stuff really well. Is he a dancer? Is he a singer? I don't think so, man. That concerns me. You've got to think within your sandbox what you're doing. Does your leading man, who you've built a whole other movie around, is he capable of doing it? I'm fucking concerned. Look, I hope it works, man, I really do. But look, as I say, Zazie Beetz, it's no coincidence she's been coming out and praising the concept. She's literally edging to try and get into this movie. And look, to be fair, she was an interesting one, but she was the neighbour. And I presume Arthur's been flung in a mental asylum, and he's not had much interaction with his neighbour in the ensuing years between these movies. So he did have that obsession with her though. He was infatuated. That's maybe how you bring her in. Maybe she's aware of him now and there's maybe this twisted fucking relationship, I don't know, but she's certainly interested in coming back. And as you can see here, yeah, in my mind she lives because she never actively wronged Arthur. His victims in the film were generally people that pointedly hurt him. Even within the horror of his realisation around his own state of mind, he acknowledges that she's more of a bystander in his situation than an actor to his situation. So to me it made sense that she wouldn't be harmed by him because his harm was intentional towards certain people. And then society, what the fuck happened there? Society at large, but she also felt wrong by in a way. So in my mind she makes it out unscathed, at least physically. So she thinks that the character's made it out, and that enables her to come back into this movie. Look, Zazie Beetz is a brilliant actor. One of the standout things from Deadpool 2, I really enjoyed her. Can't remember what her character's name was, but I did enjoy it. It was the one with luck. Incredibly lucky character. Pretty sure it was anyway. She's youthful, she's well up for it, she's eloquent as you can see. Sure, she can dance and sing, so get her in that movie, man. The more connections we have from the first movie, the better. Time will tell whether it's good, man. I sincerely hope it is good. I'm rooting for it. I love Joaquin, and I thought Todd did a brilliant job with the first movie. So if they want to make a musical, more the power to them.